In a televised address from the White House on the evening of December 17, 2025, President Donald Trump delivered a 19-minute speech. Eschewing the traditional long-form State of the Union in favor of a shorter State of the Nation, the president laid out a vision for his second term that was met with both celebratory enthusiasm from supporters and sharp derision from critics. The immigrant scapegoat. The president opened with a familiar and aggressive focus on immigration. He directly blamed undocumented immigrants for the nation's most pressing domestic struggles, including the housing crisis and the strain on public health care. In a particularly controversial moment, he took aim at the Somali community, repeating claims that they had taken over the economy of Minnesota, a statement Al Jazeera noted as a continuation of his previous garbage rhetoric. While Trump argued that illegal aliens were draining the treasury, his critics pointed to economic studies suggesting that immigrant labor remains the backbone of the construction and elder care sectors. The 2026 economic boom. Acknowledging the public's anxiety over the cost of living, with polls showing over half of Americans believe the country is in a recession, Trump pivoted to a bold prediction. He promised an economic boom the likes of which the world has never seen by 2026. Central to this plan is his intent to appoint a new Federal Reserve chair who will aggressively slash interest rates. To address soaring medical costs, he touted Trump Rx, a new direct-to-consumer website for prescription drugs, claiming it would bring prices down by numbers never conceived possible. However, reporters noted a glaring omission: he did not mention the high cost of groceries or energy, which many analysts link to his own aggressive trade tariffs. Peace in our time? Perhaps the most audacious portion of the speech was Trump's claim to have settled 8 wars in 10 months. He asserted that he had ended the conflict in Gaza and brought peace to the Middle East for the first time in 3,000 years. This claim was immediately scrutinized by international observers. While a ceasefire mediated by the US and Qatar exists, Al Jazeera reported that daily strikes in Gaza continue and aid remains restricted. Trump also took credit for halting a 4-day border skirmish between India and Pakistan, a role that Indian officials have notably disputed. The warrior dividend. In a move clearly designed to bolster support within the military, the president announced a warrior dividend. He stated that 1.45 million active duty service members would receive a one-time bonus check of $1,776 before Christmas, a symbolic nod to the year of American independence. He claimed these funds would be paid for entirely by the revenue generated from his foreign trade tariffs, framing it as a direct transfer of wealth from foreign competitors to American soldiers. The silence on Venezuela. Finally, the address was notable for what it didn't say. Despite amassing a massive military presence near the Venezuelan coast and imposing a total oil blockade, Trump made no mention of escalating tensions or potential full-scale military action. He limited his comments to the decimation of drug cartels, referencing recent strikes on Venezuelan vessels that his administration claims prevent thousands of drug deaths. This omission left many wondering if the silence was a sign of de-escalation or the calm before a much larger storm. Conclusion. As the screen faded to black, the reaction was split along deep partisan lines. Democrats, led by figures like Senator Chris Van Hollen and Governor Gavin Newsom, labeled the speech delusional and a me-focused rant. Meanwhile, the president's base saw a leader doubling down on his America First agenda, promising that the hardships of 2025 are merely the prelude to a golden age just over the horizon.